Alright, hello! I am supersqank, and this is Enchanted Once Upon Andalasia for the Game Boy Advance. Now this game is based on the 2007 Disney movie, Enchanted. If you haven't seen the movie, I definitely recommend it. It's really great. And this game is actually a prequel to the movie, taking place before the events of the movie. So that's definitely a little interesting thing about it. Another interesting thing is that this is actually one of the last games released on the Game Boy Advance, period. In North America, it was like one of the 3 last games released on the console. So that's definitely an interesting little thing about this game, coming out as late as November 2007. But I am here to run the game, and that is exactly what we're gonna get right now. So timing starts now. So here we have the first level, Giselle's house, even though we are not in Giselle's house. So the first thing you're going to see me doing is that whenever I grab onto a ledge, I'm going to jump around it instead of climbing up. The reason for that is because jumping around a ledge saves around half a second every time I do it, and there is a lot of ledge climbing in this game, so it definitely adds up throughout a run. It also allows me to make some earlier cycles, so that will save me even more time. So that's one of the main things I do in the run to speed things up. I jump around the ledge instead of climbing up them. There are occasional times where you want to climb a ledge instead of jump around it, and those times will appear, but most of the time you want to jump around them. There's not much to say right now. Right now I'm just moving along, doing the ledge jump thing to speed up everything a little bit. Here I'm going to climb up. The one advantage with climbing up is that you are invincible when you do it. So that can be helpful sometimes. So here I'm going to collect the bluebirds. The bluebirds help you fly. You can fly and you can take less fall damage. You can't skip them, you are required to get them. Oh, I missed the jump. That's annoying. And I also got that text box, which you can skip if you are not bad, like I was right there. So there I did an exploit known as a pip drop. So normally you cannot use pip or sing when you drop down a platform or when you're in the air. But if you use them right as you're falling off a platform, you can use them in the air. And that has 2 good effects. The first thing is that it lets you fall further without taking fall damage, and the second thing is that it lets you avoid using the bluebirds when you have music notes. So it can help you basically drop down further and without taking any fall damage. It's basically good if you want to drop down somewhere and not be slow. So next up, I'm going to do a little thing. Normally you have to do a pit puzzle to defeat this enemy. But what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to get hit by this rock and just walk right past him. The weird thing is this game is that if you get hit by an enemy normally, you have almost no invincibility frames. But if you get hit by a projectile like a rock or something, you have way more invincibility, and you can actually exploit that to get past some enemies you're not supposed to. So that saves a bunch of time in multiple points in the run. So here we get the hedgehog as our first animal friend. I'm going to lure this enemy into there. Now normally you're supposed to use pip, but you can avoid using pip with the help of the ledge jump strats. So that's simple enough. So here I'm going to do a big jump with the bluebird, which skips a whole bunch of platforming, so that saves a little bit of time, I believe. Now I'm going to use pip to get a key. You can fall down there, but I missed it. It's quite tight. I think I can skip this enemy, but I didn't want to risk it, so I just took it the slow way. And that's the end of this level. And now we're going on to chapter 3, and we're immediately going to start off with a damage boost. You do a double damage boost to get past that guy. Normally you have to do a little puzzle to get past him, but you can skip it just by getting hit with the rocks. So this next bit, I'm going to make sure I get all the notes so I get a blue bird, because if I'm not careful, I can die in this level. And you do not want to die, because the first time you die, you get this long cutscene that you have to skip, and it's annoying. So you ideally want to avoid that. But I've never finished a run where I haven't died on this level. That has just not happened yet. There is a hard part of the level where I could very easily die. So I'm just hoping that doesn't happen in this run. So I climb up here, pick up a key. I'm going to do a sing drop, which is basically the same as a pip drop, except I use a song instead of pip. I can probably... I didn't know if I could jump up there or not, so I just waited instead. Again, you're normally supposed to use pip to distract the enemy so you can set up the hedgehog. But you can use ledge jumps to mitigate that. So you don't need pip. So yeah, I need to be careful, make sure I don't get hit by the birds. And I'm going to do another one of these ledge jumps to avoid using pip. And I'm going to try and do a pip drop here. I missed it. I have never gotten that pip drop in a run. And this is the cutscene I was talking about. It just takes forever to skip for some reason. So you can do a pip drop there, which saves a bunch of time. Because if you don't do a pip drop, you just die. And unfortunately I missed the pip drop. But I pretty much always do that in a run. So now we're going to have an Edward level. So instead of playing as Giselle, we're going to play as Edward. And we basically have to chase down these chariots, these trolls. And basically how we beat this level is that I have a specific route I'm trying to take where I don't take any damage. Unfortunately I messed up the strat on this level, which has lost me a bunch of time. But yeah, you want to try and not get hit. I have specific routes to try and avoid getting hit. But yeah, we're back to playing as Giselle now. We're now in the market levels instead of the Andalasia forest. Do I go up here? No, I don't. Okay, I go up here, that's where I want to go. I actually did have to go up there to get music notes. So here, I need to go around this troll. Get the hedgehog out. And now we have the next section where I have to climb up here. Sometimes I forget where I need to go until it's too late. So now I need to use Pip again to pull this rock down. I took damage, but that's fine. I'm not supposed to go up here. That was not what I was supposed to do. So I'm going to go on a climbing frame now, where I'm just going to jump up it, because that's faster than just climbing up it. I could have jumped around that, but I just forgot. So here, I can just drop down, no big deal. You have 3 hit points in every level, and what I try and do is I try and make good use of that. I try and take damage abuse where it, you know, helps. I'm going to climb up here. I can just drop down as well since I have no health. I have no notes, so I can just fall down, take the hit, it's fine. I'm still alive. Here I'm gonna, you know, pause the game. Because these trolls, they can either throw their rocks high or low. And you need different... And one of them you avoid by ducking, and one you avoid by jumping. So I just pause the game temporarily, so I can see which one they do, so I can react accordingly. I'm gonna go down here, drop down. It's fine that I use music. I just put that hedgehog there. That's a little bit unintentional because you're supposed to get both those trolls, but I didn't have to do that with careful route planning. So here I can take a damage abuse. I did mess up a little bit. I was trying to jump around the edge, but instead I climbed up it. It's not a big deal. And in fact, by doing that, I have an extra piece of health, which is nice, but it's not needed. I didn't want that troll to throw low so I can jump over it, but he threw high, so I had to duck under it. So yeah, that's a little thing you have to be careful of. Now I'm going to pick up these notes, and I'm going to do a jump. Do a little, get up here, drop pick down here, go through here, drop down here, and get some invincibility. And in this next section, I'm just going to climb up and get a key. Here I'm going to get a deer, where I need to use it to make these enemies love me. They'll do things for me. They won't hurt me and they'll hurt each other. That bit is a bit RNG. You ideally want them to hit each other first try, but you just have to get lucky. So here I pretty much have to use Pip as normal, push that down, jump up, and that is the end of the level. Now we're in the market, I believe. The last town level. Again, I just jump around there to avoid those enemies. There's a little skip here. Normally you have to go around a bunch, but you can jump up here and skip a bunch of stuff. Ow. I took 2 unnecessary hits, which is not good. Ideally I would want a damage boost through that guy, but I didn't have the health, so I had to take him out instead, which is fine. It's not a big time loss. It's a relatively small time loss, in fact. Now I have an otter, I think, or is it weasel, where I can just take down this. So you can take down walls like that. I can either use the otter or I can use the hedgehog. I'm going to use the hedgehog since it's faster. And that's an area where you kind of need the edge jump. I was trying to not get hit there, but unfortunately I didn't. But it's fine. It was overall a small time loss, so it's fine. This I did a little bit suboptimally, but it's fine. I actually have to get 2 of these music notes instead of 1 because I died. Which is a minor time loss. You know, it's nothing big. It's not a big deal. Oh, I was supposed to use the otter. Oh, that's annoying. That was entirely my fault. I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, this game is definitely better than Toy Story 2 on the Game Boy. I mean, as a casual game, it's not the best. It's definitely a bit janky in places, but it's not bad overall. It's a relatively easy game, casually. It's fairly simple, but it's not bad either. So that's the end of this section. We have another Edward level, where I'm hopefully going to get it correctly. I just mash, and I move in a certain way to try and not get hit. It didn't work. This is the hardest level, I'd say, to do perfectly as Edward. The hardest Edward level. Because you have to do some specific movement to do it well. But I failed. Now we have the castle levels. So this first section, there's not much to talk about here. You just climb up, use the honey to attract that guy. Those big trolls are attracted by honey, so you gotta make them eat the honey. another piece of honey here that I can give to the troll. You can skip getting that piece of honey, but I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it actually saves time, but I'm not sure. I haven't properly timed it. And it's definitely annoying getting that key as well without the honey. Is that something? Gotta hit this switch. Normally I think you have to put Pip on there, but if you climb up quickly you don't have to do that. I kind of mess up the execution, but it's fine because you can crawl super low under those gates. So here I'm picking up some notes. Just need some good movement to make sure I get them. Not getting hit by the bat. I don't need proper good movement, I just need to be careful. I'm going to take a little damage abuse, save a little bit of time. Ow. You have to be careful in this section, otherwise these swinging things can hit you. It happened again. This doesn't normally happen. That's not hard. I was just being dumb. I forgot to get the key, because of course I did. All you need, the only thing you need here is honey to get the guy out of the way. Unfortunately, there isn't a way to get around him without the honey as far as I can tell, but if there was a way, it'd save a decent amount of time. I'm going to put the honey down so you can eat it. Now I need the music notes. I'm pretty sure I normally have an extra music note here, but I don't think it matters. At least from what I remember. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I want to try and do this section well. Can't do it optimally now. Because ideally I want to go past that guy, but I couldn't do it because I couldn't get past the second guy quickly enough. He tried to attack me, which is not ideal. Oh, I forgot to... No, I didn't. I need Pip for this next bit. Make sure I actually have the otter. Or weasel. I'm going to put the honey on here, and then I'm going to drop Pip on here. So I can drop down. Nice and simple. I'm going to do a little death abuse here. This is the only place in the game where a death abuse is potentially useful. But if you haven't died at least once, it might not be useful. But since I had died in the past, it was useful for me. So now we have this level. I actually messed around this level a lot today, and I've updated the route since what it was like in the past. I'm going to try and execute that route. So I'm going to go under the bat. Those bats are annoying. It's definitely easy to get hit by them accidentally. I'm going to dodge the hedgehogs. Got to avoid the shadows. Shadow the hedgehog can't hit me. I'm going to do another projectile invincibility boost here to get past this guy. Okay, I normally do not take that hit. Normally I get past that guy without taking an extra hit, but not today, I guess. I'm going to try and get up here without hitting that music note. Didn't work. I'm going to try and do a pip drop here. The pip drop's not working. I'm trying to do a pip drop for a specific reason. I'm not just trying to get the music notes. I'm not just trying to skip, you know, the birds. But I'm also trying to keep the music notes. Because in this level, you do need the music notes. So yeah, Pip picked up the music notes off screen. That's why my music note count went up. I have to be careful here because I'm low on health. Normally, I don't have to worry about that, but I really had to make sure I didn't get hit by that bat. It's normally not a problem because I normally have an extra piece of health, but it was a problem there. This should be fine, this should be fine. Okay, that was fine. Hoping I get this pip drop. I did not get the pip drop. Which is unfortunate. Because in this next section you need a lot of notes. And I was trying to manage my notes so I wouldn't need to use them all. But yeah, I do have to get some extra notes now. Because I missed the pip drop. Which is unfortunate. But normally you have to go down there to get notes. But since I had some extra notes, I don't have to do that. Here I'm going to use Pip. Pulling those platforms down as Pip, or like items down off platforms as Pip, it's weird. It's not as simple as you'd think. It's really janky. So now we're at the end of this level. I have to use this otter 3 times. I'm sorry, I do not remember what creature this is. And we're going into the last Giselle level now. And this level has a whole bunch of strats. Okay, so I'm back. Sorry for the technical issues, but I am back now. And I will play the throne room again. I don't know how much of this level you saw on the stream, but we'll be able to see it here. So we start off this level by picking up a rock, and then putting that rock on this conveyor belt, and we also put Pip on this conveyor belt. I do it in a certain way to do it as quickly as possible. So that's simple enough. In this level we get access to the skunk, which is the most broken animal in the game, but we only get it in the final Giselle level, which is definitely a shame. So I take this enemy down, which is rather intentional, but what's not intentional is that I turn the camera up so I can take that troll down. So that's normally not supposed to happen, but I manipulate the camera so it does happen. So I can pick up this key and do the rest of this section as normal. So I use the spider, and then go down here. Here I use the skunk again. This is intentional. But now I'm going to do something a little bit janky. I'm going to use the skunk again to manipulate this troll. He has the potential to pick up that honey from all the way down there, but sometimes he doesn't do it. I don't know what caused him to do it or not. He just didn't do it there. But the reason I collected those 2 notes earlier, the ones I picked up twice, is 1, so I could take that troll down, because normally you can't do that. And the second reason is that there's another troll I'm going to take down where I'm not supposed to do that. So normally you have to climb a bit and get some honey, but I can just use my music note which I stored to do that instead. So these enemies are going to run into each other, have a little fight, and the end of this level is pretty simple. So I just go through this conveyor belt room. I go down. I use a couple of spiders, and there's nothing else to really say about this level. Probably could have skipped that ledge grab if I climbed a little bit. And now we are approaching the final level. And it is an Edward level. So again, like the other Edward levels, I have a specific route for this level, which I take to try and complete it as quickly as possible. And I'm executing it perfectly, and time! That run was definitely interesting, to say the least. One, because of the technical issues, which definitely invalidated the run a little bit. But according to this timer, my time is in the 24s. But it could have been lower. I am not sure. I'm not exactly sure when the timer stopped before the crash. But yeah, that's Enchanted Once Upon Andalasia for the Game Boy Advance. In my opinion, this is actually kind of a neat speed game. I mean, it's not the most technical game out there by any means. It's not the most fast-paced, but it's still, I still think it's a neat little game to run. It's got a little bit of tech. It's not too difficult. There's very little RNG. It's just overall a fun, short little speed game. The world record for this game is just under 24 minutes at the moment. Yeah. Thank you guys all for watching. And if you enjoyed what you see, feel free to follow my YouTube and my Twitch. My Twitch is supersqank. I don't stream a lot, but I do stream sometimes, speedrunning and stuff, and my YouTube is Big Bang Bot. I sometimes upload speedrun videos, but other times I upload more analytical videos. So if you want to check me out, then feel free to do so. But anyway, it's on to the next run, which I believe is A Bug's Life by Thermal Square, which I would definitely recommend sticking around for if you can. Alright, that's the end.